Hi dear friends, today let us see some of the important questions on Robert Frost's Homeburial. First question, Robert Frost is known as the poet laureate of. Robert Frost is known as the poet laureate of. The answer is Vermont. Next question, this man has the good sense to speak naturally and to paint the thing as he sees it, whose court it is. This man has the good sense to speak naturally and to paint the thing as he sees it. Whose court it is? The answer is Ezra Pound. Next question. Homeburial is published in which year? The answer is 1914. Next question. Who was the first publisher of Homeburial? Who was the first publisher? The answer is David Nutt. David Nutt. Next question. Homeburial was published in the collection. Homeburial was published in the collection North of Boston. North of Boston. Next question. How many lines are there in the poem? How many lines are there in the poem? The answer is 120 lines. Next question. What is the setting of the poem? What is the setting of the poem? The answer is a windowed stairway in a rural home in New England. A windowed stairway in a rural home in New England. Next question. What are the two tragedies of the poem? What are the two tragedies of the poem? The answer is death of a child and death of a marriage. Next question. Homeburial is written in the form of a dramatic lyric. Dramatic lyric. Next question. Frost was awarded Pulitzer Prize how many times? Frost was awarded Pulitzer Prize dash times. The answer is 4 times. 4 times. Next question. How many tragedy does the poem talk about? How many tragedy does the poem talk about? The answer is 2. Next question. What was Robert Frost's middle name? What was Robert Frost's middle name? The answer is Lee. Robert Lee Frost. Next question. First book of poetry by Robert Frost. First book of poetry by Robert Frost. The answer is A Boy's Will. A Boy's Will. Next question. What does the wife see through the window at the beginning of Homeburial? What does the wife see through the window at the beginning of Homeburial? The answer is her child's grave. Her child's grave. Next question. As the poem begins, the wife was standing at the top of a staircase. Next question. There are how many speakers in the poem? There are how many speakers in the poem? There are 3 speakers in the poem. Next question. What is the name of the wife? What is the name of the wife? The answer is Amy. Next question. The second theme of the poem is the answer is burial of a relationship. Burial of a relationship. Next question. How many times Frost nominated for Nobel Prize? How many times Frost nominated for Nobel Prize? 31 times Frost nominated for Nobel Prize. Next question. Total number of stanza. Total number of stanza in Homeburial. The answer is 8. Next question. According to Frost, a poem begins in delight and ends in. According to Frost, a poem begins in delight and ends in dash. The answer is wisdom. Next question. Who promoted Robert Frost's poem in England? Who promoted Robert Frost's poem in England? The answer is Ezra Pound. Next question. Who considers Robert Frost as a terrifying poet? Who considers Robert Frost as a terrifying poet? The answer is Lionel Trilling. Lionel Trilling. Next question. Why does the child's grave sit on the family's property? Why does the child's grave sit on the family's property? The answer is family graveyards were common in New England farms. Family graveyards were common in New England farms. Next question. Robert Frost is also called as homespun dash. Robert Frost is also called as homespun dash. The answer is homespun philosopher. Next question. How many speakers are there in the poem? How many speakers are there in the poem? 3 speakers are there in the poem. Next question. Most poems of Robert Frost are set in rural countryside of dash. Most poems of Robert Frost are set in rural countryside of New England. Next question. Outside there in the entry I saw it. What did the wife see? Outside there in the entry I saw it. What did the wife see? The answer is spade. Next question. The little graveyard is compared to. The little graveyard is compared to. The answer is the bedroom. Next question. You overdo it a little. Who is the you here? You overdo it a little. Who is the you here? The answer is the wife. Next question. Blind creature and awhile he didn't see. Who is the blind creature? Blind creature. Who is the blind creature here? The answer is the husband. Next question. The poem Homeburial has been described as close to home for Frost. Why? The poem Homeburial has been described as close to home for Frost. Why? The answer is it is based on the death of his child Elliot. It is based on the death of his own child Elliot. Next question. What did the husband do after the death of the child? What did the husband do after the death of the child? The answer is he dug the grave. He dug the grave. Next question. Which poem by Robert Frost was used by GRR Martin as the title of the first book in Game of Thornes? The answer is Fire and Ice. Next question. Don't carry it to someone else this time. It refers to. Don't carry it to someone else this time. It refers to the mother's grief. Next question. To do with what was in the darkened parlor. You couldn't care what was in the darkened parlor. What was there in the darkened parlor? The answer is their first child's body. Their first child's body. Next question. According to Frost, a poem begins in delight and ends in, already we have discussed, I think, it is wisdom. According to Frost, a poem begins in delight and ends in wisdom. Next question. Who narrates the initial 5 lines? Who narrates the initial 5 lines? The initial 5 lines are narrated by a third person. Third person is narrating it. Next question. The poem ends with a dash. The answer is cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Next question. Don't. Who says these words? The answer is the wife. Next question. Homeburial is written in the form of a dramatic lyric. Next question. What is the name of Frost's wife? What is the name of Frost's wife? The name of Frost's wife is Elinor White. Elinor White. Next question. What is the rhyme scheme used in the poem? What is the rhyme scheme used in the poem? The answer is blank verse. Here comes the end of the video. If you find it helpful, please do share among your friends and drop your valuable comments in the comment box. Thank you.